If you didn't know, September is National Preparedness Month, and recently the Cedar Falls Public Library held a week-long series of events called Soldiers of Humanity, where the citizens of Cedar Falls got the chance to meet real volunteer heroes and learn to prepare their families for natural disasters. Let's take a look. Soldiers of Humanity was a series that focused on how to better prepare yourself, your family, and your loved ones for disasters, and learning the roles that volunteers play in the post-disaster environment and how you can become a hero. Chasing for Life is an organization behind these disaster preparedness programs. Eddie Weiss is the founder for Chasing for Life, and he tells us more about the meaning behind the organizations and the programs.
I'm the founder of Chasing for Life, so I started this years ago as a means to fill the gaps in disaster response and disaster education. So we looked at where the need wasn't being met. And because you have the Red Cross, you have the Salvation Army, you've got FEMA, you've got all these organizations. So we just found the gaps, and we tried to specialize in those gaps to fill them.
Chasing for Life seems to fill all those gaps, especially informing the public how to better prepare yourself for natural disasters like tornadoes and hurricanes. Kelly Stern, who is the Youth Services Librarian for the Cedar Falls Public Library, explains how the library and Chasing for Life came together to make it possible.
Once a year during the winter, the State Library hosts an event that introduces youth librarians to people who are offering to do performances and other kinds of shows during their summer programs. And so I attended that in January, and Chasing for Life was one of the teams that presented at that. So I decided to book them for a fall program.
Chasing for Life offered a variety of family-friendly programs, with Saxby the squirrel, the Chasing for Life mascot, to serious tips and educational programs like After the Disaster First Aid, which informs citizens of how they can use debris from a disaster in order to survive or seek help. Eddie tells us the main message behind the Chasing for Life organization.
We've got 17 programs on disaster preparedness that we're doing. I travel all over the country. This year it looks like I'm going to do about 500 programs on disaster preparedness around the country, so that's what I do. I travel around and try to make it so that people don't need to be rescued. But unfortunately, when they do, or when things get bad, a lot of what's set up here in the exhibit is what people would see come to their town or come to their community. The shelters that are out in the parking lot right now are actually the ones that are some of the ones that were brought out for Hurricane Sandy. We housed over 800 people in Hurricane Sandy during the hurricane and during the nor'easter.
The equipment, information, programs, demos, and supplies the Chasing for Life organization provided helps people realize how serious these life-altering situations are. In fact, Kelly even talks about what she looks forward to learning that will help not only her, but her family.
I've lived here for quite a while, and I've never seen anything that was offered to teach us how to be prepared for disasters. And so just on a personal note, I realize how unprepared I am. So I'm looking forward to learning this week about what I need to have in my home, what I can do if we do have a disaster to protect my family until emergency personnel could get to us. So I see this as a community service as well as something that's entertaining.
Not only did those who participate learn the facts about safety and what to do in certain situations, but they had the opportunity to listen to speakers tell their real-life stories on what they did in a disaster situation and how they survived on little to nothing. It was definitely an educational week at the Cedar Falls Public Library, as citizens of Cedar Falls were educated about natural disasters and how ordinary people respond to extraordinary events. What a great way to start this National Preparedness Month. If you would like to learn more about Chasing for Life, you can visit their website at chasingforlife.org.